How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane. I'm here to give you another Spy Family episode review. Today's episode of season 2 is episode 37, Part of the Family. Before I go any further, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more reviews just like this. If you want to support me even further, the Patreon is right there in the description as well. Merry Christmas! Well, it's Christmas Eve, and I hope you guys are having a great Christmas. Well, I was gonna say Christmas Eve weekend, but a great Christmas weekend, right? Hope you're staying safe. Hope you're being kind to everyone who you know and being kind to everyone who you don't know. And you know what? It's not about what you get, it's what you give. And I'm here to give you this last episode of part 1 of season 2. Yeah, I had to do a little counting. Uh this is technically the 12th episode of season 2. On top of that, when I went back to double check my knowledge, because I remembered there was 12 episodes in season 1, there was. Part 1 of season 1. Part 2 of season 1 had 13, not just 12. So this is cool. I like that this ended the eve of Christmas Eve. It's a good present. It's a nice wrap on a bow. And remember how I was saying that after that, vacation mission where it highlighted Yor so greatly. And then it said, well, you know what? We want to show you why Loid is amazing too. Because we got a cool Loid thing with the tennis thing, trying to stop them from doing why were they playing tennis? I think it was to win a special jewel that had plans on it from the old war that could spell doom if they gave it away. Wow, that's how great this show is. It's making me remember stuff from over a year ago. But yeah, so we had that Loy specific one that wrapped up with, Yor beating Nightfall's butt, Fiona's butt, showing that, yeah, she going to fight for her man. Metaphorically and probably literally as well. But after that vacation episode, we got Loid doing, well, during it, we had Loid doing something. We had Anya using her powers. And I was saying every episode after that was kind of showing, hey, these are the characters. This is the fun stuff they got into. Except for the Damien boys. They had one before that, right? Pardon me. So this one was about Bond. Now I thought an episode before that was about Bond, where he's basically running about town helping Loid with with his mission so he wouldn't have to eat Yor's food and potentially die. This one is showing how he is definitely a part of the family. I'm trying not to do a play by play, but there's so many things that happen in sequential order that are just precious. Watching this episode, because I am behind on some things, I want to make this a priority. That time went by so fast. As a matter of fact, the episode technically ends in 17 at minute 17, where we get the outro, but then we get the epilogue to things. Now, the highlight of this is how Bond is a good boy, and how much how Loid views him as part of the family, right? One of my favorite things is when Bond barked commandingly at Loid, basically saying, "Shut up, follow me." He even have a moment when he bites the leash off, right? So he can get into a burning building. We'll get to that in a minute. So he's using his precognition powers. Anya does not come along for this dog walking trip because, well, they're doing origami is apparently hot in her school now. She's practicing doing the origami. Kind of failing, but she's practicing and she's making Stella stars. Yor's also practicing with her. We get a cute, funny moment where Yor tries to make a star. She ends up making a knife. And then when she goes, well, takes out some scissors, looks very menacing, cuts up and has paper people, right? And then the paper people are all cut and damaged because she's a little bit too good at her job. But that's the subplot of this. We get some missteps of Bond using his powers, and this comes after doing some training. Since Anya's not there, he's gonna do some more tactical training, and has Frankie being the bad guy. You've seen dog trainers where they have the thing on the person's arm and they're supposed to bite down and shake and not release until told to. Which I also saw a video where the dog went after the other person instead of the person they were supposed to go after. Coincidentally, they might have to do with the guy's skin color. Regardless of such, uh, they're practicing. And Frankie brings up, because he says, yeah, Bond doesn't seem into this. Like, he seems kind of out of it. Loid notices. Score 1 point because he notices things. Well, he is the spy. Frankie goes, remember, he's part of Project Apple. Training like this is probably like everyday thing for him. Like, he's probably used to this. And we do get flashbacks of Bond thinking of that moment being called a failure. And a lot of good flashbacks in this episode, such as when you start the episode off with the recap of the plot, the whole Project Strix thing, and we get to run down the whole family. I'm talking about Anya, Yor, Loid, and Bond. Now in this, Frankie, who's upset because he's probably they're supposed to be doing some bomb training. He's like, wait, so I'm supposed to be the bomb? Tells him, take him for a walk. Bond, no pun intended, with Bond, because he's going home. And of course, they go for a walk. Now, Bond has precognition. Remember, because of that Project Apple thing, he can read, he can see the future a bit. And he gets two missteps with it. The first one, little boy drops his ice cream, gets made fun of by his friends because apparently they're all jealous that he gets more allowance than them. Well, when Bond tries to help him from doing that, the boy still drops it, and Loid ends up buying the boy 3 scoops instead of 2. There's another one where an old man's going to get hit by a bike, and Bond holds onto his jacket. The bike goes by, but the old man's like, train your dog. And, Lloyd's kind of scolds him and says, we got to do some more thorough training with you, which makes Bond just kind of, and he's thinking in his head, he's saying, well, if I help these people, Anya will praise me. That's their best buds. But he's thinking about Loid, he's scolding them. There's also, he got a precog of like a lady getting pooped on by a bird. And he's like, well, I'll probably try to help her. Then they'll think I'm biting somebody again. Not going through that again, right? But then he gets in his mind, there's a burning building. A woman saying, my daisy's inside. I'm like, oh, damn, my baby's in there. Not her baby, but we'll get to that in a second. And so this is the moment when Bond had just barked at him commandingly. And even, I like the fact that Loid is the kind of character, while oblivious to your Anya's been kind of tricking them pretty easily. And what Bond is doing, he's very observant to personalities. Because he's like, this is not like you. You don't usually pull me. You don't usually bite on people and stuff. Like, what's going on? And so when, Bond, I call him Borf Dog. When Borf's commandingly, he follows. He's like, oh, his nose smelt the fire. And, that's when he bites the leash and goes inside. And he's like, oh, so I love the fact that for Loid to understand his precognition, he said, oh, it's your nose. When they found Daisy, who was a little tiny puppy, looks like a pug puppy, very adorable. Just seeing Bond carry this puppy around, so they got to put it in the backpack, and Bond ends up licking the little puppy clean later. He's found Daisy. When Loid said we could take the fire escape, he stopped Loid from falling through the ground. Everything's crumbling. They get out. Unfortunately, Bond catches on fire, but I'll get to that. That's a secondary thing. Other thing is he caught the arsonist. I like that with any good writing, a touch of things was laced in this episode from the beginning, such as when they were training. Loid says, "Yeah, a lot of strange stuff has been going on lately. I'm just trying to get prepared, right? That's why he's having him training him to attack bad people." Which I guess they thought he was too gentle. No, Bond's not just gonna attack Frankie because Frankie's a friend of the family, but he finds that arsonist and bites that dude's leg. The dude's getting off to it. Like when the lady starts crying about Daisy, he's just like, he pretty fire horny, right? About to stab our boy. Of course, Loid comes in, pop, pop, pop. Gives Bond his kudos, but then he yells at him and says, "I told you bite the arm." But you got to be careful, man, because there's somebody who will be very devastated if something happened to you. And of course, Bond knows it's Anya. We don't get just one flashback moment. We get new moments drawn, like them spending time together, them having fun together. I like that. You can trick me with a little bit of a flashback, and then go, "Hi, you thought we were just going to show you old moments? No, here's some stuff that we've never drawn before." And of course, they can't take credit for this because, well, he's a spy. The dog is from Project Apple. Too many things lining up. You don't want that to happen, so they got to leave. Although Bond thinks he would get like a bunch of meat as a what's a reward, but of course he's gonna be kind to him because he wants Bond to realize you are a valued member of the Forgers. I can't let anything happen to you. I don't want anything happen to you. Do not overwork yourself. Basically telling the dog that we love you, which gets him tons of snuggles. He's like, hey, no, it's just for the mission, all right? Sure. And he's going to take him to a special park that they couldn't take him to because they were all on vacation. Now, remember when I told you Bond had caught fire? He's a floofy dog, very puffy, floofy. But he's actually very skinny underneath because when the back of his fur caught fire, one of the a gentleman they met earlier who, was explaining to Loid that he thinks everyone got out, poured the water on Bond, and he got super thin. And Loid was about to laugh at him. And it's embarrassing for Bond because he gets a little blushy things. But Loid is like, no, you're a top-notch spy. Do not laugh. I love seeing that human side of him. Funny enough, and even Loid and Anya mentioned this, when Bond gets wet, his bark changes. He goes from borf to sound like an old man. Just and the only way they never seen him like this before. Yours the only one that's seen him like this because yours the one who bathes him. So when they get back after our outro, which is so beautifully done by Vondry, featuring Brandon Lee, she explains once I dry him off, he'll be fine. Anya thinks he's shrunk, which I would have thought the same thing. You would think that all of that is the body. No, it's just him. Actually, my dog, when I used to get him cleaned, and when I used to clean him, he used to get super skinny like that. So very, very good episode. But oh man, I can't believe I'm almost through all these notes and we're only 12 minutes in here. But with all of the origami making, Loid obviously lies and says, well, some guy sprayed him with the water. And Anya learns the truth from Loid's thoughts. I can't tell them that, he saved a puppy from a burning building and caught an arsonist. And Anya's proud of him. She's been making Stella stars. So she tells Loid, just kneel down. And she gives them both Stella stars. Of course, Yor comes back. She thinks it's adorable. Yor's best mom. But then we hear in Loid's thought, this is all nice and all, but can you win a real Stella star? Gong shock. We get borf. Bond does a shock too. It's like borfed, which the comedy's good in this series. I think this show's made it into my top 10 anime, like my top 10 favorites. It's hard to not think of a reason to not love this show. I'm sorry to say it's hard to think of a reason to not love this show, and I can't think of a reason for it to not be in my top 10. Like, it's really, really good. But we get that touching moment, and of course, we get a nice little epilogue, right? It shows all of the things that are going on with the other main characters. So Damien and his crew, Damien studying, the other two are having a pillow fight. He gets caught in a crossfire. They have a cute little pillow fight. We get Becky looking adorable with her dog, which is a Yorkie, and her butler and her people watching her with smiles. Love it. They love the young lady, the young miss. And we go off. We got Nightfall. Fiona, she's doing shooting range practice, shooting hearts around a picture of Loid. Hey, okay. Frankie, who is having a daydream about his Frankie suit and him saving a woman, is going to work on the Frankie suit. I feel like have I missed anyone? No, we don't miss anyone because no, I did miss someone. Yuri. Yuri's basically throwing up blood because he's eating treats that he got from Yor. And then we follow up with the family because Anya wanted her father's hamburger steak. The family's eating. Bond is sleeping with his Stella star. And that's it. I'll see you next mission. That's what we got. Pretty good episode to end on. Just the overall highlight. I haven't done a play-by-play like that in a while because it's a simple episode. Honestly, you should watch this because there's a lot of context that I have not included in here. If you haven't watched this, I'm still surprised that some of you watch my reviews before you watch the episode, which I greatly appreciate. But there's so much packed in here that is adorable and funny. The shift from, I don't want to say slice of life, but everyday life into comedy, into seriousness, and then into wholesomeness, done so well. It's not a whiplash moment. It's this is very well done. This is probably, it's very hard for me to pick a favorite episode. Honestly, I think my favorite episode was when Anya had helped out Yor and didn't realize it. That's one of my favorite episodes. This goes right up there, at least top 3 best episodes of the first part of this season. Really good, really cute, automatic 5 out of 5. Just part of the family. Realize you're not just a dog. You're not just a pet. You're part of our family. And the dog since has precog, he can pretty much understand what he's saying. There's really not much else I can say about this episode. Probably one of the fastest, what should I say? Yeah, probably one of the fastest episodes I've gone through with reviewing. Matter of fact, I will double check some of my phone notes here because no, Daisy, called Daisy. She's adorable. Scared of being thoroughly retrained. The whole thing about getting a flashback of being called a failure, and Frankie says, "Have some fun with him." I like that Loid loves this dog and is a part of the family. It's kind of like those dads. The dads that are like, "All right, you can get the cat or you can get the dog, but I'm not going to interact with it." And then end up being like the pet's favorite. Yeah. I also get to see Mon's cute little, the little black paws he has. Looks like little gloves. It's adorable. I did like seeing the drawings of like him watching, is that Bondman? Yeah. Him watching Bondman with Anya. That I enjoyed that. Other thing that I'm going to point out that probably won't have any bearing for like probably a couple years. Anya still says her family name wrong. She says the Horchers, not the Forgers, the Horgers. Got to pay attention to what Anya does and how Anya looks. When it's a serious and touching moment, she has a certain look. When it's just normal, she has another look. Just some cool things are happening in the manga pretty soon. So it's making me realize that I can't remember the creator of this manga. It's just making me realize that the mangaka really good at laying down story beats and really great at saying, "Hey, you should probably, if you're not paying attention to this, that's okay. I'm gonna make you remember something that happened." But again, 5 out of 5 from me. Please let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Please be good, be blessed. Do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos like this. And the Patreon is in the description as well. Have a Merry Christmas, everybody. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, happy Ramadan, happy winter solstice. I know that passed this past week. Happy Festivus for those of you who celebrate that as well. Happy everything. All right. Please be good, be blessed, be safe out there. Be good to yourselves, be good to others. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk. All right. Be kind, be good. Realize that there are people out there that care about you. The holidays can be a rough time, but you know what? That's kind of what happens, right? The holidays kind of amplify things and make things seem much worse. But I promise you, there are people out there that care about you, that love you. Reach out and talk to somebody. There are people that rather talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow. You can hit me up on my social medias below. Just send me a message, give me a follow. I'll get to you as soon as I can. Just don't be a jerk. We'll be good. All right. I know I'm behind on certain things. I still have, as of right now, 2 what ifs, but I'm pretty sure the 3rd what if episode is out. They're doing one every day. Thanks for that, Marvel. And I got to do Rurouni Kenshin. That will be done as well. I've not forgotten about Pokemon either. There are other things I need to do. I didn't do any Christmas content this year, although I've watched a fair bit of Christmas things, but there's one thing that I think I want to put up tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. Until next time, guys, I can't wait until we see the Forger family again. Have a Waku Waku Christmas.